Hey YouTube, what is going on? People think it's the end of the world. Gangnam Style got 1 billion views. Oh man, we're all doomed. But not really. Because I do have a battle for you here today. Facing a person named Utah. But this was a pretty good match. Pretty annoying and stally-ish, as you can tell by the video's length. But a very good one nonetheless, and it was kind of crazy towards the end. But I do lead off with my Reuniclus. They go for the Rotom on the as their lead. I do sub on their T-Wave, and this was before I had gotten the sweep with Reuniclus, so here's what I'm trying to set up in his face, even though I know I can't do a single thing to a Rotom, because he does resist my Ice Beam, and HP Ground he completely avoids. So he does go for the Volt Switch, which knocks out my sub. And he goes into Scizor, which completely laughs at Reuniclus, because it can Bullet Punch it whenever it wants. So that is also unfortunate for me, but I do see he is Life Orbed, which is crucial in the end of the match. And he does switch out, knowing he can't do anything to me. I know that as well, so I will go for the substitute as he brings in Rotom. Now the Hydro Pump was extremely obvious, and I still wanted my sub up, so I do protect to, 1, like I said, avoid the Hydro Pump, but 2, I will get more Poison Heal recovery, which is always good. And now I am going to go for the Toxic. I do see that I outspeed, so this Rotom is not really invested heavily, at least, into speed. So I don't really know what kind of set he's running, because I do see T-Wave, Volt Switch, and Hydro Pump. So I'm not really sure. But I do get the Toxic off on him, which is always good. And I go for the substitute to technically, avoid the Hydro Pump, which I do. And obviously it knocks out my sub. So at this point, I'm just trying to stall him out. And if you think this is stalling, you've seen nothing yet. Because he does go into his Reuniclus as I go for the Protect, and here's where everything is sped up. You will see a counter down at the bottom right, which displays the amount of the power points that I have available for each move. Because now that he goes into his Reuniclus, I am going to continually go for the Earthquake, attempting to knock it out, possibly getting a crit, but that's not going to happen for a while. I'm going to keep going for the Earthquake, and he'll keep recovering and Calm Minding. I do set up a sub, hoping that maybe he'll attack or something, and it's really not looking good for me because Reuniclus, when invested heavily in defense, is quite bulky. But I do see Psyshock, which is pretty good for me because of the fact that he is hitting my much bulkier, higher defensive stat, so that is very good for me. I am going to keep going for the Earthquake, just trying to get a crit, doing as much damage as possible. Obviously, if he is poisoned, he has Magic Guard, so that won't do anything for me. So this is kind of where I'm kind of in a bind here. Reuniclus is dead. I can't go out to Chansey because I know it can't take a plus whatever Psyshock. So I do feel the need to stay in here continually. Like I said, go for the Earthquake. But as you can see by that counter down there, my Earthquakes are really going low. Only 6 left. Keep going for the Earthquake. Really not doing anything. And they do keep going for the Psyshock, trying to boost up to +6, which I don't blame them. That makes sense. But we'll see why this doesn't work for them. So I keep going for the Protect and Sub and Earthquakes over and over. Really don't have much that I can do. And I do see on that last turn I saw Focus Blast. So I see Recover, Calm Mind, Focus Blast, and Psyshock. So knowing that I can most likely take a Psyshock even if he is boosted, and obviously resisted Focus Blast won't do nearly as much, I feel pretty safe in this situation. Although the biggest problem is, as you can tell, it's a very, very long process to be able to win. And right there you can see he is at +6, can't go any higher, of course, and he keeps trying to boost. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake behind the sub. If I had gotten a crit there, this would have been a much, 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 much shorter battle, but sadly it isn't. He is going to go for the Focus Blast, miss, so I'm really not too worried about those Focus Blasts at all. It may or may not break my substitute, likely it will because he is at +6, but I do go for the Toxic here. I am out of Earthquake, so I literally cannot do any damage to this, period. Because of Magic Guard, he will avoid that poison damage, tries to go for the Focus Blast, keeps Calm Minding, so at this point you can tell it's just a huge stall war between me and the Reuniclus. And I hope you like the counter at the bottom. It took a very, very long time to make. It was kind of annoying making sure everything was counted correctly. But anyways, I don't have anything I can do to this. But like I said, I don't want to go into Chansey because the Psyshock will kill me. I know that for a fact. And the Focus Blast probably would. I wouldn't be surprised at +6. It's pretty strong. But he will keep going for the Psyshock. And here is crucial, because we do see that I can live a +6 Psyshock because Gliscor is so bulky. So he's going to keep going for that. And luckily I did see that I could live one, so I know that if I can somehow get back up to full, I don't have a single thing to worry about. But that doesn't look like it will be happening, because he is playing pretty aggressively with this Reuniclus, and he has every right to. He's at +6, full HP, he has nothing to worry about. So I'm just sitting in here, and for some reason, I don't really know why, but he's not going straight for the Psyshock over and over. Most likely, my main thought right here was that he had run out, which is awesome. He had run out of Psyshocks, and most likely Focus Blast. So Gliscor, the ultimate staller, right there. You can see he wasted all of his PP, and I had no way to damage him, so the only way I could was to make him hit himself, which is just awesome. So he is going to be forced to go for the struggle, and he's taken heavy recoil at this point. And here on this last struggle, don't really think it mattered. He got a crit, which knocked out the sub. I don't really know if that mattered, because he had already hit me 3 or 4 times or so. So don't think it really mattered. But here, remember what I said about the Life Orb being crucial? Well, here it is. He does go for the Bullet Punch, hoping to do over half. Doesn't happen. I do set up a sub, knowing that I can pretty much wall Gliscor, take any hit he wants to go for. But he continually goes for the Bullet Punch. And if you look, he is doing a lot of damage to himself just because of attacking from Life Orb damage. And I am setting up subs and protecting behind a substitute, which is awesome. So he does keep going for the Bullet Punch. I'm thinking it would knock it out, so I did go for another sub, my final sub, leaving me at 6 HP. I don't really know why I didn't protect here. Oh, okay. Because I knew that the Bullet Punch would take out my sub, I would be able to save my protect so that I could protect after he knocks out my sub, if that makes any sense. I attempt to go for the double protect. Doesn't happen, doesn't really matter, because I do end up living it. But I go for my final protect, and I have no more PP. So he goes for the Bullet Punch, and I struggle, and I get a struggle KO. So I think that's awesome. Gliscor takes down 2 Pokemon to the point where he had no more power points, no more PP left for anything. But he took out something with struggle, so that's crazy. But he does go into his Rotom, as I have my last Pokemon, Chansey. I can take anything he wants to throw at me for days. Chansey with the Violite is just so bulky, it's obnoxious, especially with special bulk. So the combination of toxic damage and seismic tosses will take out the Rotom fairly easily, as I'm left with a large amount of HP still. So that is going to be the battle. Gliscor can't even believe that. Stalled out 2 Pokemon, one with PP, the other with Life Orb, and killed it with struggle. Gliscor, you are amazing. We all understand why you're OU. But I would like to thank you all for watching. I know it was a longer video, but thank you all for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you all later.